Welcome to the instruction video for the project Make a Beat. For this project, you will need the software FL Studio. They have a free version. If you go to their website and you hit try for free, it'll bring you to this page where you can then download the appropriate one for your device. When you open FL Studios for the first time, you might see a bunch of different windows. They might not look the same as my screen. Each one of them has a little X in the top right corner. You can close them if they are not necessary for this video. So the only ones you need are the channel rack and the playlist arrangement. If you don't have the playlist arrangement, it is this button right here. If you click it, it will pop up. To make sure that you have the same channel rack that I do, go to File, New from Template, Minimal, Basic 808 with Limiter. So the channel rack here has 4 drums that are already in this program, and each of these buttons represents you hitting that drum. So I'm going to click a few of them, and you can see that they light up. If I decide that I don't want one of those, I can right click it to make it go away. If I click any of the drums with a right click, I can set to fill it so many steps. So I'm going to pick 8 steps for this one, and I'm going to pick every 2 for this one. You can also click and drag if you want multiple ones in a row. So this looks great, but I actually don't know what it sounds like, so I'm going to go up here where it says pattern, and I'm going to hit play. So now that plays the pattern for me, and it will play it on a loop. I can play the pattern, and as I'm listening to the pattern, I can click more of these to add to the drums. So when I decide I like it, I'm going to stop. But I want more than just drums in my pattern, so I'm going to click the plus sign right here. And this shows you all of the plugins of different kinds of instruments in FL Studio. So I'm going to pick FL Keys. And you'll see this little master keyboard come up. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I don't need it quite yet. And then you see that there's a new row of buttons to click for the piano. So I'm going to click a few of these. And then I'm going to hit play to hear my pattern. Now when I clicked these, it only picked one of the keys on the piano, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to make these go away. And in order to tell this program which keys I want to hit in this section, I'm going to open up the piano roll, which is right here. So now you have a full keyboard in which you can add your keys to. So then with your pencil tool will pop up, you can click where you want it to hit. So now I have some notes. I can drag the notes out longer if I want, or I can make them shorter. I can also drag them up and down. If you look back over here at FL Keys, you'll see how the screen is different. This is because this specific plugin is communicating with a different part of the system. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to go back and play my pattern. So I can go back and then I can add more keys if I want. And if I don't want parts, I can delete, and again, I can move them around. So after I played around for a little bit, I found a pattern of keys that I like, but I decided that the piano keys were a little loud compared to my drum beat. So in order to adjust that, I can go to this little knob right here, and you can see in the upper corner, when I hover over it, it tells you what the channel volume is. So it's currently at 78%. So I'm going to move it down to about 56, and I'm going to hit play. So now I like that the piano isn't as loud as my drums, and it's more faded in the background. I don't need this piano roll anymore, so I am going to close it. You can also choose different types of piano sounds. So I have the grand piano, but there is other options available, and you can play with those. So now that I made my pattern and I like how it sounds like, I'm going to come over here where it says pattern 1. I'm going to right click it, and I'm going to rename it. So I'm just going to call this one beat number 1, and I'm going to hit the little check sign. So with my song, I don't want just one beat. I want to switch it up a little bit to make it a little more fun. So to make another pattern, I'm going to go up to hit Patterns and then hit Insert One. And now a second one has come up. You can see that it's over here in the bar too. It's called pattern number 1. This box will automatically come up to name it, so I am going to call this one beat number 2, and I'm going to hit the check mark. So now I'm going to make a new pattern really quick, just filling in some of these. So maybe I don't want all the drums in this, maybe I don't want piano, and that's fine. I'm just going to make a new pattern to insert into my song. So now that we've created 2 different patterns, I'm going to make a track. So I'm going to select beat number 1 and use the pencil tool. I'm going to go where I would like to add that part of the song and click, and you can see that it appears here. So I'm going to make that beat come twice, but I accidentally left a little space in here. If you hover over it, you'll see arrows that go up, down, left, and right. If you click and drag, you can move that around. So I put beat 1 in there twice, and now I'm going to select beat 2 and put it right after. So now I have some music in my track. I want to hear how this sounds all together. So if I go back up to the play area, I don't want to just listen to the pattern anymore. I want to listen to the whole song. So I'm going to make sure song is selected in green, and I'm going to hit play. So if I'm happy with the song and I decide that I want to export it, I go to File, Export, and then you select the file type you want. I'm going to choose MP3. And then you're going to save it on your computer somewhere where you can find it. So I'm going to save mine on my desktop, and I'm going to give it a name that I can remember. And hit save. The settings will come up. I'm not going to mess with any of the settings. I'm going to hit start. And when the program makes that little beep sound, it means that your file was exported. You have finished the assignment, Make a Beat.